The Atomic Submarine does not have a lot to offer, but is it possible that it inspired the longest running cartoon series in history? Welcome to Creepin It Reel. Thanks for joining me. I am Judo. We're going to be talking about 1959's The Atomic Submarine. It was pretty much a straightforward kind of, military movie that did dive into sci-fi. I couldn't find anything legitimate to back this up, but I think the alien creature from this movie inspired the aliens from The Simpsons, Kang and Kodos. I think that this creature inspired Kang and Kodos. If you go to IMDb and you look in the trivia, you will find people that'll say, "Oh, it definitely inspired," but you can't find anywhere that comes from the Simpson production that confirms this. So I think it might just be a fan theory, but I immediately thought it when I saw it. And I'm clearly not the only person. That is about the only interesting thing. Commander Richard, he's off duty. He's putting the moves on this blonde bombshell, and he's using all of his best lines. He's using sweet innuendos about icebergs. That's just the tip of the iceberg, baby. Just wait till you see the rest of it. But the thing is, she's not having any of it. I mean, she is all like, well, I got to do my part to support the military. But she definitely was like, oh, I'm here for the fun. I'm here for the iceberg. Let's get this going on. So in one way, it was somewhat humorous. And that's right at the beginning of the movie. But that's it. Then he gets a knock on the door, which was one of his lines, like, "You don't know when I'm going to be sent back out." Or what it was he started down that path and she stopped him and she was like, "Oh, wait, let me guess. You don't know when you might be called back out. So we need to make the most of the time that we get." But then she was like, "So let's get to it then. If we can't waste time, let's get to it." And then of course somebody does knock at the door, which is the whole joke. Then it becomes like strictly very military and like scientific jargon. There's a shipping route in the Arctic that has been closed because ships and submarines have been attacked by an unknown force. So then the U.S. government gets together its most advanced submarine, the Atomic Submarine, known as the Tiger Shark. And they fit it with some new equipment. And they're like, "We want you to go out there. We want you to find out what is causing the problem. And if you can, stop it." They go down there, and what they find is a UFO, or what they're calling a USO, unidentified submerged object, instead of a flying object. And they code name it or nickname it the Cyclops. So then they decide to ram it, and they get their submarine stuck inside of this USO. And they're like, well, how do we get out? They decide to board the USO and try to cut their submarine free. As they're there, this is when they start encountering the alien creature. The creature is reaching out mentally to the Commander Richard, the guy, who had the bombshell. And Commander Richard's like, well, I got to go check this out. Well, his buddy, Lieutenant David, is all like, I can't let you go alone. I'm going to follow. So they're walking, and the alien is telling Richard, "You don't need your weapon. Leave your weapons, and your friend cannot come with you." Well, Richard's all like, "David, you can't come." And Dave's like, "Screw that. I'm not leaving you alone." So he follows him. This is the reveal of the alien. So Richard starts engaging in conversation with this creature, and he comes to find out that the USO is actually organic. And it's healing itself. It didn't sink or didn't take on water because the USO started healing itself. It's like a living organism. And the plan is that this alien came here and has gathered some specimens from Earth. And as he's talking to Richard, he's actually killing the other people that had come on board. He's freaking them out, separating them, and then melting them. As Richard is talking to him, David gets impatient, and he comes up behind him, and the alien's like, "I told your friend to stay behind." Richard's like, "He did. He's back there." He's like, "Nope, look behind you." His friend comes up, and he's like, "What's going on here?" And he just pulls his gun out, and he's like, bam, 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 bam. the alien psychically attacks him. He starts going crazy, and he backs up into some weird light rays. And again, he gets melted. And Richard's all like, well, damn, bro, am I next? And the alien's like, nah, I kind of like you. We're going to take you back. We're going to study you. And the parts that we like, we will integrate into our own being. And Richard's like, well, suck. When will you leave? And he's like, well, we got to go back to the pole, recharge, and then we will navigate back to the home planet. We will come back and we will inhabit planet Earth. Well, you're going to have to see to be able to navigate home, right? Alien's kind of like, maybe I shouldn't take you back. You're not as smart as I thought you were. Obviously, I'm going to have to see to navigate home. And this whole time, Richard's holding this flare gun behind his back. And then he goes, it's going to be rough. And he shoots him right in the eye. He blows his eye clear out. And then he runs away back to his submarine. They escape, but then the alien regenerates his eyeball and he takes off. And so Richard gets back onto the sub and he's like, we failed. We didn't kill it. And if that thing gets away, they're going to come back and they're going to take over the Earth. So the scientists there, they put their minds together and what are we going to do? So they create this, water to air missile and they shoot it off, hoping that they can take down the now UFO because it is no longer underwater. It's flying through the air. Luckily, they do blow it up. We're saved, kind of. The submarine comes back home. Richard is talking to this young man who is part of the crew that there's a beef between on the movie because this young scientist is a pacifist and thinks that war, is one of the evils of society. And Richard's all, a military man, lifelong. That's what he does. So he doesn't like him because he opposes his views. He can't just, respect having different opinions. But by this time, I guess they're kind of buddies. At least they're on the let's agree to disagree kind of scenario. This is the last line of the movie. Dang it, I think I lost my little black book back there on the UFO. The end. Okay, so we have this super serious, like military type sci-fi movie that is bookended between this freaking horny beginning and then basically the ending is him like, well, save the world, time to get back to fucking. That's all I got to say about this movie. Was it entertaining? It was slow. It was boring, but I did enjoy the practical effects from 1959 of this creature that I personally, even though I couldn't find anything to back it, I believe that it inspired the Simpsons aliens for sure. But if anybody out there can, if you find somewhere that it is actually confirmed, and I'm not talking fan fiction, because IMDb, people can just log in and just be like, oh, dirty, and write stuff, and you don't know if it's real. But if anybody could actually legitimately find somewhere like commentary or something from a DVD collection that backs up that theory, that would be amazing. If you guys have seen the Atomic Submarine, I'd love to know your thoughts, because you know what? Even though it was boring, I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to land at a 5 out of 10 for this one. I'm going to start delving more into the 50s and 60s movies. Some of you, it seems like a lot of people out there enjoy that. And so I'm going to try to at least add more into them. We're not going to shy away completely from the new horror, the modern horror. And I personally love the campiness of the 80s, so I can't stop doing that. But I'm definitely going to try to mix more in of the 50s, 60s sci-fi, which is really the only thing that I was potentially allowed to watch when I was a child. Not the 60s so much, because then we definitely start getting into more questionable stuff. But the 50s sci-fi B movies was definitely something that I enjoyed as a child. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any suggestions of maybe some B movies that I should check out and review, I'd love to see those. Put those in the comments below. This has been Creepin It Reel. I am Judah, and I'll see you later.